Would you support your favorite player if you knew that he took drugs? Would you still support him if a test proved that he took sports enhancing drugs, or known as PEDs? Now, PEDs have been traced all the way back to ancient Olympic Games, where competitors have been taking to create an unfair advantage and better than their opponents in anything they do. Now, not until 1930 could they have gotten away with it. And around 1930, a German scientist created a test to prevent doping in Olympic Games and create a more level playing field throughout the entire competitor field. Now, myself as an athlete, I believe that drug tests should be used more in pro athletes to create a safer environment and as well as a more fair environment. Now, drug testing pro athletes is a huge part of any major organization, including NBA, the NFL, NHL, and any other pro league across the world. All pro leagues use drug tests to ensure that no one player can be superior with the aid of PEDs. One of the controversies over PEDs is the effectiveness. Now, the effectiveness of these drug tests are more likely to be effective with the more tests. So, Lee Craig in 2004 says that only about 1% of the athletes have tested positive for banned substances. And this number is generally concerned with the fraction of those who's perform enhancing drugs. Now, he's basically saying, again, that the more tests that are put out against these athletes, that the more cases and more positive results come back. Weirdly enough, that some of these banned substances are regular over-the-counter drugs, such as other anti-inflammatories and antibiotics that the normal fan or normal spectator can use. Gary Waller says in 2008 that the detect accurate and reliable results. They undergo rigorous validation prior to being introduced, and WADA, anti-doping agency, is of course keenly interested in effectiveness and efficiency. Now, I agree with Walder in saying that these tests are very, very effective. They are taking precautions and right steps in the direction to make sure that each test given out to a pro athlete is effective. Another controversy over drug tests in pro athletes is, do these PEDs really give an unfair advantage to the ones or the players taking them? Now, steroids is probably the most well-recognized PED, and they raise testosterone levels, they help muscle growth and more growth in mass. Although these steroids do help repair, so if you were having an injured shoulder, you could use steroid pills that help the injury become better faster, and you can get back into your field of play. Now, another part for steroids is that there's a legal limit within the organization rules and WADA that you can take. Now, if you take more than the certain dosage, then that means you are obviously illegally taking these substances. Now, Norman Frost in 2008 says that there's no coherent argument to support the views that enhancing performance is unfair. Now, I don't really agree with that. I agree more with Michelle Dillingham, and she uses the words that society cares more about steroids because it is a form of cheating. Now, when Michelle Dillingham said that in 2004, she was really saying that Steroids are only viewed as bad, although they have you can use them for good. You also you can also use them to harm for your opponents. Now there was that suspension, but now he's back. You know, and and I believe the next few you get more effective. And thank you.